My 29M girlfriend, 30F, has recently rekindled a friendship after 6 years of silence with her ex, 20-something, and I can't decide how to feel about it. As the title suggests, my girlfriend has restarted a close friendship with an ex-boyfriend after a 6-year silence between them. My girlfriend and I have only been dating for 7 months. Her ex lives on the East Coast, we are both in the West Coast. She talks to him almost daily, but never with me around. All I know is that they share music and memes, and occasionally play Dota together. We finally had a heart-to-heart about it, and she told me there is nothing I need to worry about, that she would never dream of cheating on me, and that she loves me, but I can't help but worry about what that friendship might turn into, or if she is emotionally cheating on me. She also told me she knew her friendship with him would make me uncomfortable, so she intentionally didn't talk about him around me. To give a little backstory behind them, their breakup was a mutual one. They didn't date for very long, and she used to call him mashed potatoes because she thought his personality was as bland and boring as mashed potatoes. They reconnected after he reached out via Instagram DMs. She told me about being friends again, and that she feels bad for calling him mashed potatoes and now calls him by his name. Flash forward to a few months later, she calls me at work and tells me how her ex-now friend has friend dumped her because he started having feelings for her again. She tells me she's upset about that and wishes they could be friends again. Well, flash forward another few weeks, I ask her about the friend dumping and how she's feeling about it, and she tells me that they made up again and are back to normal as friends. Like I said before, she never talks about him unless I ask, but will tell me about her other friends all the time. She's even shown me conversations from other friends, and has texted friends where I could see a clear view of the phone screen, but she has never messaged him in front of me. They only chat over Discord. I've seen her force close Discord when we watch shows on her laptop using Task Manager. This may be a normal way for people to close apps on their comp, but to me feels like extra steps. I feel as though she's being intentionally deceptive. I have never seen their conversations and I would never intentionally snoop into her privacy like that. Her mother was emotionally abusive and would read her journals growing up. She has also said if I ever asked to see her conversations she would dump me on the spot and never look back. So I don't know if I have a right to be paranoid about this. I feel insanely jealous and scared that she may have a strong emotional relationship with another man outside our relationship, and I don't know how to cope with these feelings. Should I trust her like she asks? Should I be okay with her having a strong, non-sexual relationship with a previous sex? How do I deal with these feelings of anxiety and jealousy without destroying our relationship? Too long didn't read. My 29M girlfriend, 30F, is close friends with her ex, wasn't upfront about the friendship, and now I feel jealous and don't know what to do. She is telling him everything about the relationship with you and he is shitting on you. Standard procedure. Flash forward to a few months later, she calls me at work and tells me how her ex-now friend has friend dumped her because he started having feelings for her again. She tells me she's upset about that and wishes they could be friends again. Well, flash forward another few weeks, I ask her about the friend dumping and how she's feeling about it, and she tells me that they made up again and are back to normal as friends. This is where you needed to step up and set a boundary. Obviously there is a lot about this that is pretty shady, but you know for a fact that this guy has feelings for her. And more importantly, she likes that attention. She is free to be friends with whomever she likes, but you are also free to not find that acceptable and move on from her. I feel as though she's being intentionally deceptive, because she is. She has also said if I ever asked to see her conversations she would dump me on the spot and never look back. Just wow. If you simply X out of Discord, notifications still pop up when someone messages you. Opening Task Manager and closing it that way will make sure no messages pop up. She doesn't want you to see a single thing he is texting her. Whether or not she's doing anything wrong, I think she is. This is shady behavior. She has no business talking to this guy. You already know this. Nothing good will come from this. Soon she will be telling you how she has strong feelings for him and didn't mean for it to happen. This can verify. I was dating one that's still attached to her ex and always having sneaky conversation even though I made it clear that it was not okay. Long story short, I lost £200 after that. She has also said if I ever asked to see her conversations she would dump me on the spot and never look back. You are more invested than she is. Call her bluff, but be ready for her to go back to him. She knows she has something to hide. That's why she uses Task Manager to close Discord and hide her conversations with him. In your position, it would be a clear him or me on my end. You are more invested than she is. Call her bluff, but be ready for her to go back to him. Don't call her bluff. Just dump her. 16M, would like to be a better conversationalist but don't know how improve. I'm 16 and stopped gaming a year ago and actually socializing more now. I like being around people now but I have noticed that my social skills are obviously not as good as those who have been around people their whole life. That is fine but I would just like to improve my skills. I can confidently hold eye contact for as long as I want now but still lack the skill of confidently approaching people and holding a conversation with girls and boys. I don't know what to talk about. I would appreciate some help so that I could get some friends who are male and female and maybe also a GF someday. Smile. Just started HS a few months ago and know 5 to 10 people but the problems above still apply to them too. Too long didn't read, stopped gaming a year ago and started socializing but my social skills are obviously not as good after gaming my whole life. I would like to improve them and I'm asking for advice here. Good on you for wanting to grow as a person. I don't think gaming is necessarily antisocial by nature. You don't have to give up a hobby you enjoy as long as it's in moderation. It's hard to get in-person experience with social skills given COVID, though. Maybe try striking up conversations like on Reddit and other sites with people you get to know through your interests. Practicing messaging people you don't know and making small talk and all that can maybe help you when it's in person. Lots of people have mentioned asking questions already, and that's good advice. Another important aspect of this is to really listen to what the other person is saying. If you're nervous, it can be really easy to be thinking about what to say next while someone else is talking instead of really paying attention and being in the moment. Even if you still don't have the perfect response right away, that's okay. Some breaks and silence here and there do not mean the conversation is a failure. But if you're really in the moment and just trying to engage with someone else, and not trying to approach the conversation as a sort of performance, that kind of genuineness goes a long way. People like talking to people who listen, and listening well can give you more to talk about. Ask follow-up questions, offer your own experiences, even random things like trivia facts and funny anecdotes. That reminds me of something that happened to my friend, etc. Will flow more naturally if you're both in the moment. Ask questions. People generally enjoy talking about themselves and appreciate another's interest in them. After they answer, continue with a follow-up question to something they said. If you can relate to any of it, you can share your story too. Remember to try to keep it short, simple, and to the point, and let the conversation build from there. Piggyback on this. Try to ask open-ended questions rather than just yes or no ones. For example, if talking about hobbies, ask something like, what's your favorite part about XYZ? Also, use statements that garner in-depth responses, such as tell me more about that. It sounds cliché, but the book How to Win Friends and Influence People is a classic for a reason. The title makes it sound like it contains manipulative advice, but it's all about how to show interest in others, ask good questions, and connect with people. You can probably get it from the library. The basic premise of the book is that everyone has something interesting about them and something they enjoy talking about. People like being around others who are interested in them. So if you can find something about someone that they enjoy discussing and that you also find interesting, you've just found a friend. I would keep in mind, though, that the topic that makes someone interesting to you isn't always what they enjoy talking about, so just pay attention. For example, if you have a star athlete at your school, they might not like talking about their sport very much because they have to talk about it all the time, but maybe they have a really unusual rock collection that nobody ever asks about. That's random, but should give you an idea. I 25M never feel like I have one-on-one time with my girlfriend 25F. We're just within spitting distance of our 2-year anniversary. The issue is that it always seems like just having me is never good enough. If I want to go away for a weekend, her first thought isn't "oh, how sweet, how romantic," it's "oh my god, I'm going to invite Annie, Sally, Madison, my sister, and each of their boyfriends." You should invite your friends and their girls. If we go to dinner, her friends are either A, at dinner with us, B, meeting up for drinks later with us, C, my girl is texting them throughout the dinner with me just sitting there. I'm all for sometimes rolling with the more, the merrier philosophy, but, when it happens as often as it does, it loses its shine very quickly. She can go 4 consecutive weekends without a single date night because she spends those nights out with various friends, and makes it up by coming over on weeknights. It's at a point where, when it is just us, I'm like, legitimately shocked. It's bothered me for a while, and my intense fear of conflict has prevented me from bringing it up. How can I do this gently? Too long didn't read. My GF always has her friends around whenever we do anything. Just bring it up easy in conversation. Ask her to go out, just you two, and see what she says. Issue from there will be, I can't then control her being on her phone the whole time. It's like, even when we're alone, we're not truly alone. I think after dating someone for this long, you should be able to feel openly to talk to them about how you feel and what has been bothering you. Especially if this is concerning you. Not feeling like a BF is definitely worth mentioning it to her. Unless you want to leave it the way it is, you should open up and have a talk with her and see what she says. She may feel like since you two have been together for this long, you being there next to her is like a given and taking you for granted. Obviously you and your GF need to talk this situation. You also need to see this not as a conflict but as a problem that you and your girlfriend can mutually solve together with considerations made by both of you. Invite her over and make it clear that it must be one by one because you want to discuss issues and get her help in solving a very private matter with her. Just as obviously your GF is a huge extrovert. There are introverts and extroverts in life, which you knew. How that applies here is that it affects how we need to recharge our emotional batteries. Introverts recharge with solitude. Extroverts recharge by being around people. We can stretch and flex. Like an introvert can also be the life of the party and have a great time doing it, but it takes effort and emotional energy to do that, which we need to recover from. It's possible that other things in your GF's life is stressing her out and she is in a constant need of recharging to recover from that. I think you need to frame it more as not having enough alone/bonding time with her, and/or not getting her full attention when you're alone, which are both valid complaints, and be careful not to focus the conversation around her friends or how much time she spends with them. Otherwise you risk her derailing the convo away from herself and into some irrelevant thing about "she always knew you hated Madison." Focus on what's bothering you and how her current pattern of behavior directly affects you. Sounds like you are her accessory. See, my girl is texting them throughout the dinner with me just sitting there. Don't tolerate this. She's more interested in her friends than you. If she can't sit through a dinner with you without texting her mates, move on.